Hello friends. In this video I'm going to bring you along for a recent mural I painted at a friend's ceramic studio. It was a different one for me because
great singing in the gym.
I freestyled the whole thing. And usually for murals I have a very clear final design, approved design. And so with this one, I really had to learn some new things about myself and the process, and that really centered around intuition. But first, I'd like to bring you on a beautiful family day I had right before. My daughter, wife, dad, and I went to this beautiful state park called China Camp in Marin County, just north of San Francisco. Nice warm afternoon here with the people I love is exactly how I like to recharge. Recharge before a big project, recharge between big projects, and also just regular life. And I love wandering far and near, around the world, close by, and our daughter is absolutely joining us with that. And I got that from my dad there. Getting outside, getting in touch with nature. And this is what I've been learning about intuition, because I can be a very analytical person, and so I overthink things. And stepping away from thinking and into more of a being state has been a bit of a challenge for me, but it's also where I've found immense beauty. And that's what I want to bring into my art. Time to get some supplies for the mural. I've never really had that much of a studio practice. I really cut my teeth, entered the professional art world by painting murals, so it's at big hardware stores and paint stores that I get most of my art supplies. You will rarely find me in a fine art supply store. It's big chip walls like this where I find color. Paint rollers are one of the most purchased things in my studio. Painting murals means lots of supplies. Gallons and gallons and gallons of paint, tape, rosin paper, rollers and brushes. And there's the palette. So I'm so excited for this project to share with you because I painted at my dear friend Erin Hupp's studio. She's a ceramic artist based in Oakland. I drove across the bridge from San Francisco and spent 3 days at her studio space painting a mural on the outside of her ceramic studio. And it's because she trusts me completely that we really just talked bare minimum design and color. And here it is. Already taped off a little bit. I'll add some more protection here. If it's one thing I've learned over the years of mural painting is sometimes it takes just as much time, if not longer, to tape off and properly protect your workspace. And that makes all the difference, because if it's well protected, then you're not going to make a mess, and there will be hardly any cleanup. Organization of my supplies has also become absolutely paramount with a big project. Having a clean, organized workstation allows me to stay in the flow state, stay tapped into my intuition, in my creative zone, and keep rolling. here I am wondering. Like I said at the beginning of this video, this mural's different for me because there is no design. Aaron has completely trusted me. We had some loose parameters like having some geometry, some lines, and an agreed upon color palette. But here I am just going for it. Tapping into my intuition. Being instead of doing. Being instead of thinking. Getting in the zone. Feeling the flow. Letting it roll. We agreed upon a geometry of using lots of circles. So I'm using the ancient technology of a string and a pencil here to pull some circles around a radius. And we thought the circles would be great because Erin is a ceramic artist and she spends hours and hours every week inside that studio sitting at her wheel, spinning her clay, making her art. And here's my favorite moment. The first color being applied to the wall. When I paint my murals, I often think in layers. Starting in the background, working my way forward, sometimes the exact opposite, forward, backward. Also something I've learned that I didn't apply too much into this mural because it's not very tall, but working top down. Because if you put a ton of effort into some work at the bottom and then you go paint above it and spill some paint and it drips down, you have to pretty much start all over. I loved layering these circles over each other. At the paint store, you may have seen that I had about 6 base colors. And so when I want to overlap them, it's really fun to mix the colors between 2 or 3 shades to get these nice kind of opaque, translucent, layered effect on some of the circles. Line work is one of my favorite moments here. There's not another time that I'm more focused, in the zone. Time slips away. Everything else drifts. And that's being in flow state. In the moment. That's when I feel like I'm most tapped into my intuition. Where I'm just feeling instead of thinking. It's like I'm letting something pass through me. I just have to get my thinking mind out of the way. And over the years, as artists, we develop our set of skills, our techniques, our understanding of tools and materials, so that we can better allow these things to come into the world. So I love talking with other artists about this, but also people who maybe don't have a creative practice. I really encourage them to find something, painting, writing, dancing, cooking, whatever, some place where you can stop thinking so much and just start being. Start expressing yourself creatively in some way. So a good protected mural means a very quick cleanup. And here's the final piece. Last bit of paint applied to my murals is always the signature. So over the course of this 3 days, I actually sat down with Erin in her studio and recorded my very first podcast. She was my first guest. It was really beautiful to be able to paint this, take a break one day, have a beautiful conversation about art and life. She's truly one of the most wonderful humans I've ever met. And if you'd like to listen to that podcast, I'll have the link in the description for this video. You can also go to my YouTube page and you'll see the video of us having the conversation, or you could go to my website or Spotify page. I love the shadows dancing across the colors here in the late afternoon. See you next time, friends.